Greetings all, welcome to Rats Rewind, the shrine of all things nostalgia. Thanks for tuning in. So if you couldn't tell by my shelves here, I kinda sorta like Batman, just a little bit. There is seemingly an endless supply of Batman stuff out there, so what I've got really pales in comparison to a lot of collections. But at the same time, I'm not really actively collecting Batman. This is simply an accumulation of stuff that I've gotten over the years, but I wanted to show it off. So let's take a look and let's dive right in. Starting with DVDs and Blu-rays, as you can see I have quite a few here. There's an overview. And this stack here is mostly duplicates, so I'll go over those in a minute. But here are my box sets, pretty awesome to have. Let's take a closer look at each one. Here's what started it all for me, the Adam West Batman series from the 60s. I was born in 1991, but I did see this before seeing the animated series on Fox. I grew up watching this. I believe the reruns were on FX when I was growing up, and my dad and I, we both have very similar tastes and stuff like this, so he would watch Green Hornet, Three Stooges, Knight Rider, all that stuff. So yeah, this is a really awesome box set the way it's presented. The show is definitely a product of its time with all its cheesy effects, and the artwork on this box set reflects that. So if you open this, we'll see the contents. Here's the back, pow. And the artwork is very reminiscent. So like if we pull, say, this set right here out, there's Penguin there, season 1. And that's what it looks like. And it's like this on pretty much every season here. This is the complete series. Here's the insert that it comes with, giving you an overview. And the episode guide. And even the episode guide in this is cool. Like, just check this out. Some cool artwork in there, screenshots. Love this series. It's ridiculous with all the obvious green screen effects and the way Adam West is dressed up, but still, it's nostalgia. How can you not like Batman the Animated Series? So here's the complete series box set. This is one that I distinctly remember coming home from school and watching practically every day. If I wasn't getting into some kind of shenanigans outside with the neighbors or something and I was alone, I would pretty much have the same rotation or very similar. So it would be Batman the Animated Series, Power Rangers, flip over to either Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or something. I'd be seeing what's on Toonami, Dragon Ball Z, whatever. My wife got this for me for my birthday about a year or two ago, and it's awesome. I love this set here. And I've already rewatched most of season 1, and this show honestly has aged very well. Even though it was in syndication and catered to kids, you can really be any age and watch this show, and that can't really be said about a lot of shows these days. This is timeless. This is just a bona fide classic. Absolutely no regrets owning this set. And it's very well put together, as you can see. Easy to take out the discs and all that. Not too much in terms of like little extra packaging. It's just what you see is what you get here. But you do get some bonus content, as you can see here. You really can't go wrong. And this is fairly cheap, 25, 30 bucks on DVD, I believe, and about the same price on Blu-ray. I plan on getting this on Blu-ray too. A few years later, the world was given a spin-off of the animated series, Batman Beyond, and this is really cool. It was made by the same creators, some of the same voice actors, like Kevin Conroy is in here as Bruce Wayne, and at the time I thought it was awesome. It is a little bit more teeny bopperish, but even as an adult I still think it's worth watching. It is still entertaining even after all this time. It does have a similar dark atmosphere as the original animated series for the most part, and just the idea of there being another Batman in the story that's not Bruce Wayne is just cool to me, especially when Bruce is still present in the series. And it has a banging soundtrack too, really awesome. This aired on Kids WB, and I didn't watch it too often as a kid. I think it was just a timing issue. I just happened to be doing something else most days around the time that it came on. But when I did watch it, I definitely enjoyed it. And here's the box set itself. Here's the back of the set. And this is similar to the animated series box set, the way it's put together. Very easy to get through. It kind of opens like a book, you know. And then here's the insert with the episode guide. Fairly basic. Some love it, some hate it, but you can't deny the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy was a seriously big deal in the mid to late 2000s.
Swear to me!
And I think we wouldn't have the awesome Batman video games like the Arkham series if it weren't for this. These were incredibly hyped by everyone. Everybody watched these movies and they were awesome. I personally loved them and I still do. You know, it was a totally different take on what everyone was used to at the time. We had just come away from the freaking George Clooney Batman movie, Batman and Robin, with, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that was just silly. And then going to this, it was like taking the concept of Batman and just flipping it on its head, taking a total 180. As for the box set, I went with the DVD version on purpose at the time because, I mean, look at this lenticular cover here. That is sweet. So we got Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises. And then on the back, you just have this. Take the contents out. You have a art book. Pretty cool to look through. I love extras like these. They're just great to have. And then here are the DVDs themselves. It is what it is. You get what you get here. What you see is what you get. Very well put together. Very high quality stuff. This is a massive set right here. I actually did not know it even existed until a few weeks ago. It popped up on sale on Amazon and I saw it was an 18 film collection, so I grabbed it. It was like 25, 30 bucks. That is a good deal to me. And here is the list of everything that it has. And this is a very well put together box set. And what is extremely cool is that the disc, when you have this size box set, a lot of times filmmakers, producers, whatever, they cheap out on the actual media itself. You get these crappy double-sided discs, or you get like a trimmed down version of the original movie. Not with this, and I'll show you what I mean. So first off, very nice case. Let's open this up. And they actually use the original discs from the original releases. So like there's Gotham Knight, and I'll show you what I mean. So here's Under the Red Hood, right? Well, let's take my duplicate copy. This is just a standalone copy of Under the Red Hood. Same disc. Same disc. If I were to take this, put it in a PlayStation 4 or something, and play this one, and then swap disc to this one, it will start where it left off, and it's not missing any content. So they did not cheap out on this set. In addition to the special features that are on the discs themselves, you get even more stuff right here. This is just an amazing set. So here's a list of the stuff that it has. Here's The Adventures of Batman. This is the complete series, but it didn't run for very long. There's only a couple discs here, but yeah, cool little set. I remember watching this as a kid, I think on Boomerang. This is a 60s cartoon.
He's spelling out Joker. Good thinking, Batgirl.
Holy alphabet!
But aside from that, I remember nothing about it. I really need to go back and watch it. I'm sure it is quite cheesy because this is from the 60s. Yeah, pretty basic. Nothing crazy here. This cartoon series called The Batman first aired in 2004 on Kids WB, and I remember seeing previews of this and being very put off by the art style. So I didn't bother watching it as a kid. I didn't care to. Fast forward to now though, and I got curious and I started looking up stuff about it online, and at least according to people on forums and stuff, this is supposed to be very good actually. So, but I know nothing about it. I've yet to watch this. Pretty hefty box set though. This has 6 discs. You wouldn't think so being in this case, but it has 6 discs in here. Insert right here. Episode guide. And then your 6 discs. I started watching it for a little while, but the cats were driving me crazy, so I didn't really pay much attention. Moving right along, I found this at a thrift store for $1. I'd never seen it, so I thought I would grab it. Don't get it on DVD. It looks as bad as VHS, if not worse. The movie actually is surprisingly decent. I've never seen Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill, whatever. I've never seen none of their movies as far as like the Batman stuff, but I was pleasantly surprised by this. It was entertaining. I give it like a, I don't know, like a 7. But get this on Blu-ray, don't get it on DVD. It looks like pure hell on DVD, even on a CRT TV. This was also only $1, and this is really, really cool. So as you can see, it's the complete 1943 movie serial collection, and I actually had no idea this existed. I thought the first was Adam West, but no. These are black and white Batman movies. Really awesome. The case has seen better days, as you can see, but there are the discs. Yeah, I'm looking forward to really diving into this one. I watched a little bit of it, and it's really cool. It's one of those product of its time situations here. How can you not pick this up for $1?
I'd buy that for $1.
If you've got the Adam West Batman TV series, of course you gotta have the movie too. This one I've actually had for several years. I bought this at a retro game store called Replays in Hueytown, Alabama. They're no more, they're gone now, but yeah, I remember this only being maybe, I don't know, $2 or $3. Still happy to have this after all these years, and the disc is clean. No Batman movie collection is complete without the Michael Keaton Batman from 1989. Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger, awesome stuff here. I don't have Batman Returns yet though, shame on me. These two I have not watched yet. So we have Batman Death in the Family, as well as Batman Hush. I've read the comics to both, the graphic novels, and they're amazing. Don't know about the movies, we'll just have to see. But this, for some reason, says interactive movie. I'm not sure what that's about. There's the inside. Yeah, I'm especially curious about Death of the Family. That was an amazing graphic novel. Then here's Hush. Back of that. So this big stack of movies here, they're all in this set, except for Sub-Zero. So these are all pretty much duplicates. I'm just going to go through them really fast. Double feature, Batman and Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero, Mask of the Phantasm. Love this, love these two movies. Crappy double-sided DVD. Batman Gotham Knight. Batman Under the Red Hood. Batman Year One. It's a good thing I got the box set because whoever sold me this left out the damn Blu-ray. All I've got is the DVD for the standalone. Batman Ninja. Entertaining but really stupid movie. Kind of cool though that it comes with the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital though. Digital code's expired. Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And then Batman Beyond Season 1 and 2 standalone. As far as I can tell, these are the same discs that are in the complete series box set. And Season 2. I do know at least the video quality, it is identical to the complete series box set, so you're really not missing, you're not losing anything by getting the complete series together rather than the seasons separate, other than some extra packaging. Now the graphic novels. So typically when I go into a bookstore or a comic store, I always look for a graphic novel that's Batman that looks interesting to me that I don't already have. This is one of the latest pickups I've got, and to be honest, I'm sorry, but I don't care for it. This is Batman 89. It's supposed to be sort of like a tie-in to the Michael Keaton movie, but it just didn't grip me. I didn't find it interesting. I wasn't that entertained. I got through it, but I only got through it for the sake of getting through it. I just didn't care for it. The artwork is just meh. It just didn't pique my interest, really. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have The Killing Joke by Alan Moore. Genius writer, genius graphic novel. If you're looking into getting into Batman comics, get this. This is essential. It gives you kind of a look about Joker and his origins, what makes him become Joker in the first place. And yeah, Got some excellent artwork considering its age, and it's an awesome story. You have to get this if you're looking into reading Batman. Next we have Batman the Three Jokers. Some people don't like this book for some reason. I really enjoyed it. I think it was awesome. And it's what it sounds like. You got three Jokers, and it's a fun story. It's definitely one of the more violent ones, so it's quite gory, but here's some of the artwork. I think it's great. I had a good time reading it. I kind of want to read through it again because it was just fun. Batman Dark Victory. This is a chunky boy of a novel here, and I actually know nothing about it. I've not read it yet, but it is pretty popular, so I'm interested and getting pretty excited to check it out. Now that I'm flipping through this, it seems pretty gritty, which I like. I like the more violent stuff in the Batman world, so looks quite interested. I'm looking forward to reading this. Here is Nightwing Year 1, and if this is what Nightwing is supposed to be, then I'm not a fan. I always thought he was a cool character, but then when I read this book, I thought it was kind of lame. Nightwing, dude in a circus. Kind of stupid. I didn't really enjoy this book. I got through it just because I was curious about his origin story, but here's some of the artwork. Pretty typical fare. Nothing really that blows your mind. It's serviceable. This is an amazing book right here. I had a lot of fun with it. The plot basically, without spoiling anything, the Joker is sick of the rivalry and he wants to finally put an end to it once and for all. And you can kind of guess the rest. But Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, so you know it's going to be good. Big fan of those two guys. Here's some of the artwork. It gets pretty violent in here. And those are my favorites, the really gritty Batman stories. Part of why I love the series to begin with. You know, when you compare the comics to the movies and stuff, there's really no comparison. The Joker Death of the Family from the New 52 run. This is a nice hardcover version. I've not read this yet, so I know nothing about it, but it's supposed to be one of the best Batman stories. It is quite chunky. I got this for very little money. I don't remember what I paid, but it was like, I want to say it was like $10 or less. Pretty cool looking artwork here. Very detailed. Dark Knight, A True Batman Story by Paul Dini and Eduardo Risso. This one's pretty heavy because it deals a lot with mental health. He had a traumatic event. Without spoiling everything, it's very cool because he sort of relates his experience in real life to a Batman story. So it's a pretty interesting read. I really enjoyed this one. The artwork is pretty decent too. I just got this one, so I've not read it yet, but Joker by Brian Azzarello, and this is a Black Label issue, so I'll probably like it. It's probably going to be pretty messed up. The artwork looks fantastic. It is extremely detailed, and it's got like that film noir type thing, except in color. I really like the way this looks, so this is probably going to be the next thing I actually start reading. The Court of Owls, Volume 1. This is a very cool series by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. This was the first Scott Snyder book I read, and it was a great introduction to him. A friend of mine, Rick, bought the hardcover version for me a little over a decade ago, and I stupidly sold it along with a ton of other stuff to fund moving out of state. So I wanted to rebuy it, but right now, at least, this is just the trade paperback version. It's also been over a decade since I've actually read this, so I do plan on revisiting it. I remember liking it quite a bit, though. It's about a secret society called the Court of Owls that's controlled Gotham for centuries, and I'll just leave it at that. There's also Volume 2 called City of Owls. If you like the holidays and you like watching Christmas movies, then you'll like Batman Noel. And this is not anything groundbreaking per se, but man, I am shocked at how much I really enjoyed this one. It's just a solid plot, even though it's nothing too crazy unique. It deals with morality, it's about redemption, the ability for people to change, and the artwork in this is just bonkers. Like, look how detailed this is. It is just insane how good this looks. So yeah, if you're a Batman fan or know someone who is, this is the perfect gift around Christmas. So this is more of a Watchmen tie-in than a Batman book, but he does play a big part in this, so I thought I would include it. This is Batman and the Flash, The Button. Here's that killer lenticular cover there. This is basically a lead-in to Doomsday Clock, which is a Watchmen spin-off. It's like a pseudo-sequel of Watchmen. And it's pretty cool. Batman and the Flash, they're investigating this button here sent from Dr. Manhattan. You got crap like alternate realities in this, and I don't remember this story entirely, so I can't say much about the plot. I do remember it being fairly entertaining, but I do need to revisit this. It's been several years since I've actually read it. And this is in minty condition. It's pretty solid artwork, your typical New 52 style artwork. Batman Hush. This is the trade paperback version. Here's some of the artwork. And this is one of those books that you can come back and read over and over simply because there is just so much crap that happens at the same time in this book, it'll make your head spin. There are so many cameos, so many villains and stuff in this. You got Catwoman, you got Poison Ivy, Joker, you got Hush himself. These Gotham City villains, you got Superman. These Gotham City villains are basically pawns in Hush's little plot, I guess you could say. And Hush himself is quite a messed up villain. This is just an awesome book and one of the essentials. This is up there with like The Dark Knight and Killing Joke for me. Just a really fun story. Another one of the essentials. Batman The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. This is one where if you want to get into reading Batman comics, you have to get this one. This is a bona fide classic. It's a very multi-layered story that goes on for quite a bit even beyond this novel, but really you can just enjoy this on its own if you want. And it's basically a story of a retired Batman coming back as a vigilante, and there's a lot of, you know, your typical corruption in the government type crap. He's getting crap from the government about coming out of retirement again. He clashes with Superman. There's all kinds of stuff in this. It is an amazing story. You have to get this. Another banger by Scott Snyder. This is Batman the Black Mirror. Has some very awesome artwork, and this pretty much focuses on Dick Grayson takes the mantle up as Batman. So Dick Grayson is Batman in this. Everyone thinks Bruce Wayne is dead, basically, or the original Batman is dead. And this also deals with some family issues with Jim Gordon. He has a murderous son that they're having to deal with. This is a cool story. Has some good artwork in it. Very fun read for this. Batman Earth 1 is another take on the classic Bruce Wayne's parents got killed, whatever, but in the way that this is told, it's just quite solid. It's basically an inexperienced Batman, but he is hell-bent on revenge in this comic. And you kind of see the personal struggles that he goes through in this book, and it's a very good read. It's not necessarily the most unique Batman story, just the way it's presented is very good. This is by Jeff Johns, very good writer, and I'll be honest with you, towards the end of the book, it kind of hit me in the feels, because this can be a little kind of relatable for me in some ways. Here's another one of the more groundbreaking books, as the book itself says, A Death in the Family. So it starts out as Batman's going after the Joker or whatever. It eventually turns into Jason Todd, Robin, being beaten to death. And this opens up the Batman universe to other things like Under the Red Hood and all that. And the way this is told is just really fun. It's a classic 70s or 80s style book here. You can see that classic artwork, very cartoony. But again, even though you kind of know what happens, Robin gets his ass beat. Just the way it's told is really fun. Really good read again. And without this book, this basically walked so a lot of other novels could run. Batman R.I.P. by Grant Morrison. Very good author once again. This one I read and I finished reading and all that, but I can't remember anything about it, to be honest with you. So I do need to eventually revisit this. I remember enjoying it, but I just don't remember what happens in it. But it's got some very good artwork, as you can see. Pretty solid there. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't really give any more commentary other than that. I remember liking it, I just don't remember what the hell happens. This is a pretty cool looking box set. Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Great authors there. Very well made. Thing about these is I haven't read these because I don't want to just start out in the middle. This is a volume 4, 5, and 6. I only have this because I found this set at a flea market for like $6. So I've yet to even bust these open. They're basically still new. This here is a pretty nifty box set. This is the Batman The Dark Knight Returns Collector's Edition. And this is very well put together. It's a chunky boy, as you can see. All 4 books in this are hardcover, which is pretty awesome. Let's open one of them up. Here's the artwork here. First book is the first part of the story, The Dark Knight Returns, of course. Then you have The Dark Knight Falls. Artwork pretty much looks the same. And then here's Hunt the Dark Knight. And finally, Dark Knight Triumphant. And the artwork on all 4 of these, it stays pretty much consistent throughout the whole series. Really glad to have this. Batman the War Years. So around the time of World War II, 1939 to 45, Batman came into the scene for comics. And this is a really awesome collection. It shows like your 15-cent, 10-cent comics from way back when. Detective comics. And just seeing all this artwork reprinted is just awesome. You know, this vintage artwork from back then. Love this. And you can actually find this here for very cheap. It's super high quality. I believe I got this at like Ollie's or something for maybe $7, $8, something like that. It's very easy to find this. So if you're a Batman fan, this is definitely a must. And the very last thing I have is this car. It's from like McDonald's or Burger King. This was to promote the Michael Keaton movie, so this says 1991 on it. So I guess Batman Returns. And I've had this since I was a toddler pretty much. I just found it one day when we were cleaning out the shed, and you hit the button and it does this. Now I gotta get under my desk and get that. And that's the Batman collection, at least for right now. Give me another year and this stack of books back here will probably be about that high. Let me know what your experiences are with the franchise. Do you collect for Batman? Give me some recommendations because I would love to hear it. It could also give me some more ideas for another video too at a later time. But if you did like the video, be sure to beat up that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe if you like my channel. And thank you for watching once again. Until next time, have a good day.